Players jogging up and down nervously, and finally we're underway. The ball is played back and then laid up the left-hand side. Fazal jumped for it, and the referee says that he was pushed, so an early free kick for the Egyptians. Now, of course, carrying the hopes of Africa after the exit of Morocco. A free kick some 10 yards in from the near touchline, the Moroccan left. It's going to be taken by Zizou. It's probably 10 yards outside the penalty area as well. He drifts the ball in. It's headed away very solidly by Mateta. Headed back towards the 18-yard box where they contest for it again. Adel was involved in that. It's now Zizou right on the touchline, just in from the near sideline. He's played the ball back in the direction of Fazal. Adel got another touch, Zizou once more, but they're forced back to the halfway line where Hossam picks it up, lays it square, finds Fayed. Fayed to that far side, long ball drifted forward, nicely chested down. Will it break for Egypt? It does, and the shot comes in and it's blocked. It's blocked. I think it's gone behind for a corner. There may be a flag up for offside, but they did well there, the Moroccans. Came eventually in the direction of Adel. In fact, his shot screwed wide without a deflection, so it was a goal kick. But France want to be wary of Adel. 3 goals in the last 2 games for him, including that crucial equaliser against Paraguay in the quarter-final, which saved the day for them with just 2 minutes left. France try and come forward, but they've been dispossessed. And here come Egypt once more. Not the best of passes, but they make progress down this left-hand side and they find Adel. He played it inside. France trying to contest to get the ball back, but it's back with Adel again on this near touchline in his pink boots. He played a square pass in the direction of Saber. And now that the ball's out on the far side. Nice, intricate football from the Egyptians, who look very comfortable. Captain El Neni got a touch. It's going to come to Adel again on the edge of the penalty area on the left-hand side. He's faced by 3. He's tricked his way past 2. Couldn't get the shot off. Broken to El Neni. And as he was about to steady himself for a shot, the ball was hacked away from him and behind for a corner. But it's Egypt who've started this game on the front foot. In fact, it didn't go for a corner, it went for a throw down by the corner flag. It's been thrown in by Karim El Deeb. France finally get a foot on the ball, and Elise is pulled back by the shirt, and that will be a free kick. Karim El Deeb's pulling Elise back. Got a full handful of Elise's shirt there. Elise just transferred, of course, to Bayern Munich from Crystal Palace. He'll join up with his German teammates ahead of the start of the Bundesliga after this tournament. But much to be done before that. Loic Bade playing the ball to his left. France come over the halfway line, but they play it back to Bade in the centre circle. Bade, foot on the ball. Finds his teammate Chotard into the penalty area. Good shot. Keeper holds on, or keeper spills it. It's cleared away to safety. This time it's behind for a French corner. That was a raking ball forward from right to left. Lovely control. And a good snapshot too. Lovely football that. That was Theirry breaking forward into the penalty area. Corner to be taken by Chotard. Swings it in swinger, heads go up, almost comes to the far post. Will it still break for Elise? Well, he tried to steer it into the corner, too many bodies in front of him, and the ball was blocked. But an exciting start here in the Groupama Stadium in Lyon. Roger Michele getting some instructions onto the field to his Egyptian side, who clear the ball to the halfway line. But Theirry's header finds a teammate, and here come France again through the middle. Challenge came in, referees decided that was a foul. The Egyptians are not very happy with that. They felt the challenge on Diouf was fair, and I think they have a case. The man penalised was Coker, but for me he played the ball. We're just seeing a replay of Theirry's shot, his right-footed shot from the left of the area, which forced a save from Hamza Allah. Here's Michael Elise, centre of the Egyptian half, played to his left, and to Lukabar. That ball forward's gone astray though. France have snapped in and won it back. Here is Loic Bade finding Chotard, and now it's with Lukabar once more. Finds Elise. That's a good ball down the left hand side. Theirry has made a run again. He slips though and concedes possession back to Egypt. Ball over the halfway line. Fazel was giving chase, but Restes was alert to that and out quickly. But France have been penalised for a foul on halfway. Saber was brought to ground. Egypt have taken the free kick quickly. It's found its way to Adel on this near touchline, just 10 yards or so outside the French area. But the Egyptians are forced back into defence, and they find Abdelmajid, and he gets the ball back to Allah, whose early save, how important will that be? And how important will it be that one of his defenders was on hand when the ball squirmed away from him? Egypt play the ball out to the right hand side. Find Zizou. They've gone back to midway inside their own half. There seems to be a flag up from the assistant on the far side. Theirry Henry looking somewhat pensive. I think there was offside given against Egypt. Maybe the ball forward that found Zizou found him in an offside position. Here's Chotard finding Lukabar. Lukabar to that far touchline. Back to Lukabar on halfway, just in from the far sideline. To Lukabar in the centre circle. He advances into Egyptian territory. Just plays it square to his right. To Sildilia. Chotard gets another touch. This is good football from France. Akiush get a touch there. Here's Lukabar once more. And now Mateta. Mateta out to the far side, and Theirry, who's had a really good start to this game. He stands on the ball, plays it back to Lukabar, 5 yards in from the far sideline, about 10 yards inside the Egyptian half. Now galloping forward is Akiush. He finds Theirry, who's found a little bit of space, tries to advance into the penalty area. His attempted cross was blocked, and it ricocheted back into Theirry's stomach actually, and out for a goal kick. And Theirry's been winded by that. That was another good raid by the French left back, who's looked dangerous in these early minutes. Sliding challenge came in from Fayed to block the attempted cross, and that means that Allah can clear from inside his penalty area. Allah is Arabic for excellence, apparently, and he may need excellence tonight to keep out this French side, who've scored 8 goals in winning all 4 games so far without conceding at the other end. Loic Bade to Lukabar. Lukabar to Theirry. Theirry back inside to Chotard, who's under pressure, plays it back to his keeper, and Restes has to clear rather hurriedly over the far touchline for a throw to Egypt. Probably 25 yards from the corner flag. It's taken short, and they win another throw in an almost identical spot, which Zizou is going to leave for one of his teammates. It's thrown to Zizou. He lays it back, and Egypt try and make progress into the penalty area. Faisal's little back heel doesn't find its intended target, but Egypt are soon back in possession. And other than the shot by Theirry, Egypt have looked pretty strong in these early minutes. 10 minutes played here in Lyon. Egypt 0, France 0 in this Olympic semi-final. This is for the right to play for gold on Friday against Spain. Losers to play Morocco for the bronze medal. Here come Egypt again. Here's Karim El-Deebs. Chipped into the penalty area, headed away by France. Good composure there, but Diouf threatened to lose that ball, but France have broken out with it. Come over the halfway line. Here's Akiush. He's found Elise, who's on the right edge of the penalty area, steps inside, tries a shot, hits the chest of an Egyptian defender and goes out for a throw on this near side, very close to the corner flag. It was Faisal who blocked the shot. No, it wasn't actually. They were showing the wrong player there. It's Abdelmagoud who blocked the shot. I thought it hit him in the chest, but maybe it hit him a little lower than that because he seemed to be winded having blocked that shot. Anyway, it's a throw to France, just a few yards from the right corner flag as they play. It's thrown back to Bade. Bade square to Lakiba. Lakiba's ball forward finds Lacazette. He organises his feet well, gets it out to the left to Theirry. Theirry into the box, headed wide by Mateta. Another good ball in from Theirry. Mateta attacked it well. Just couldn't get enough direction on it. He was above the defence, but couldn't steer it on target. To be fair to Abdelmagoud, he probably did enough to put him off. As a youngster in the crowd unfurls a French flag and waves it in front of himself. Here's Akiush, and it's broken for Lacazette to the right of the penalty area. He's trying to head for the byline. It's being steered away by two defenders, and Egypt have managed to clear that up. Can they make progress forward? They've laid a ball up to the halfway line, but Theirry intercepted, and with the help of Lakiba, he gets it back to Theirry, who's over the halfway line. Lays it up the right-hand side to Mateta, just in from the far touchline, but Mateta's ball forward was looking for the run of Theirry, who continued moving into the penalty area, but Mateta overhit it, and it's out for a goal kick. A free-flowing game, this. Both sides are not going to die wondering in the quest to reach the gold medal match, you feel. It's made for a pretty good spectacle in the first 13 minutes. Egypt have the ball once more. That's a careless back heel, though, that's given away possession. Diouf runs forward. His attempt to find Akiush is cut out by El Nene. And Egypt now break down the left-hand side. Adel keeps the ball in play. Just outside the penalty area. He enters it now, pulls it back. Zizou's shot's a weak one from the edge of the box. Easy for Restes, who claims it and runs to the edge of his box. That was a weak effort from Zizou. He was, in the end, he was stretching for it and only hit it side foot. And it wasn't much more than a back pass, in all fairness. Here's Shotar to Lakiba, and now Bade. Bade approaching the centre circle, just walking the ball forward as the game slows for a moment. Plays it just over the halfway line and out to the far touchline and to Theirry. Back to Bade. Bade in the centre circle. Moves into Egyptian territory. Plays it to Lacazette, who with back to goal comes out to the right hand side. It's back to Lacazette once more. His attempts to find Elise go astray though. And Adel has it for Egypt. Trying to take it away from two French players and succeeds in doing so. He was brought to ground, was Ibrahim Adel. I think that's a foul by Elise. It's going to be Well, it's going to be a throw, actually. The referee says it's a throw, not a foul. It's thrown into Adel, who hooks it into French territory, but only into the possession of the blue shirts. Here is Diouf. Diouf plays a little short pass forward, finds Theirry, who this time can't maraud forward in the way that he'd like. So he comes back to Loukebar, and now Chotard. Loukebar gets another touch, plays it square to Badet. Badet now to Elise, just in from this near touchline, the French right. He exchanges passes with Lacazette, and now plays a short pass to Diouf. Diouf wanted to shoot, but he was crowded out. But Egypt only clear it into the centre circle, and there are just signs in the last few minutes that France have begun to turn the screw and crank up the pressure. Here's Akouche playing it to the edge of the area, and Lacazette. That ball back to Akouche was a slightly lazy one, and Lacazette then fouled his man and gave away a free kick. Two pieces of sloppy football from the French captain, former Arsenal man, of course. A former Arsenal centre forward as captain, and another more famous one as manager. Can the two men who graced North London with such distinction lead Le Bleu to the gold medal, we wonder? Well, not if Egypt have got anything to do with it. Here is Adel. That's a good ball forward as well. And Adel gets it back again, 35 yards from goal. Plays it right and square. And now it comes out to this left-hand side. I thought Deebs was going to latch onto it, but Fazel got hold of it. Probably should have run into the penalty area and left it to Deebs. He's given it to Deebs now, but he's now going more backwards than sideways. And in fact, the flag's gone up. So they rather messed up that move down the left-hand side, did Egypt. I've said France haven't conceded a goal in the tournament so far. Well, despite the fact that they've given away at least 11 shots on goal in every game, Egypt have only conceded 2. So the first goal in this game might be crucial, certainly to open it up anyway. Here's Badet, this loping stride, plays it over the halfway line. Elise goes sprawling. There was a hand in his back from Hossam, and that will be a free kick to France, midway inside the half. Some of the other French players look on. Yes, Elise was 2 hands in the back there. Well, it's not quite halfway inside the Egyptian half. It's to the right of the centre circle and just forward of it. So this one is either going to be drifted in by the left foot of Elise or the right foot of Chotard, I think. Plenty of players on just outside the 18-yard box, drifted into the penalty area, overhit, and out for a goal kick. That's a waste. A waste from Elise. Henry, hand on chin. Wouldn't have been impressed with that one. Abdelmajid gets ready to start us off again. Finds his goalkeeper, Allah. Allah just outside the penalty area. Here's El Neni, another former Arsenal man, of course. Ball played over the halfway line, but Lakiba returns it to Egyptian territory. But it's the men in white, or white shirts, that pick the ball up. El Deeb, that's a good ball down the left-hand side. It's given chase to by Saber. Across came Badet and got the ball out of play. And got it off Saber and out for a throw to France. Not far from their right corner flag. Sildilia will take it. Comes forward now, throws it forward. And it comes off Elise and out for a throw to Egypt. Henry's not very happy with that piece of play. He's got his arms spread out horizontally. And he won't be impressed with that either, I don't think, because I think that's a push in the back by Badet, which has resulted in another free kick to Egypt as we tick up towards the 20-minute mark here in Lyon. It was pretty blatant, really. Henry not happy about something, getting a message on the pitch. But here's a dangerous position. It's probably 10 yards in from the near touchline, the Egyptian left, 10 yards or so outside the box. So on the angle, probably 27, 28 yards, it'll be drifted in right-footed, I think. Or will it be the left foot? No, it'll be the right foot of Zizou, played to the edge of the penalty area. It's going to come back to Zizou. What they planned there didn't quite work. And so Egypt start again from deeper. And they have the ball on the far side. And they have to retreat all the way back to Allah. So that promising free kick position didn't amount to an awful lot. Allah kicks it forward though. Finds Fazal in plenty of space. He's got a man out to his right and uses him. Played back inside. They're 35 yards from goal. They've drifted it into the penalty area. Baday's well positioned to very coolly head the ball to Lukabar. And France clear. But Egypt are back on the ball. They seem to have survived that little bit of French pressure of a few minutes ago. Got their composure back. Here's El Neni playing it up to the halfway line. Now out to that far side, the Egyptian right, where Zizou will try and run it too fair. He's forced to retreat and come backwards. And Egypt now just 10 yards inside the French half. And El Neni is retreating back to the halfway line. So they have to start again with Fayed. Fayed short of the centre circle. Plays the ball to El Deebs. And El Deebs finds Adel. Back to the halfway line. Here's El Deebs once more. 10 yards in from the near touchline. And they've switched it now to the right hand side of Egypt. El Neni picks it up again. He's getting himself around the pitch, playing water carrier, the Egyptian captain. Well, was Lukabar too strong there on Faisal? He was, says the referee. And so Egypt win another free kick. They're getting a few set pieces here. They've played this one out to the right hand side. It's drifted across the box. Oh, Adel couldn't keep it in. He applauded the idea. He was down by the byline, just couldn't sort his feet out to keep the ball in. He probably should have kept it in, really, but he made a bit of a mess of that. It's out for a throw to France, down by their right corner flag, and Sildilia gives it back to Restes in his bright orange kit. If the floodlights fail, we'll be able to see just from his shirt, I would imagine. It's pretty loud. English listeners may remember an advert about "you know when you've been tangoed." Well, he certainly looks just like that. Here's a shot from Zizou. Cannons off Lukabar. It's out to the right of the penalty area, and Egypt are letting it go out for a corner. That was good play by Coker, who stopped too fair from getting to the ball, so that it went out for a corner to Egypt, a corner on the right, just past the midway point of the first half here on the Flash Score audio commentary service and the Flash Score app. France 0, Egypt 0 here in Lyon. Second semi-final of the Olympic football. Corner comes in. It's gone out for another corner, says the referee. I think the last touch came off Badé, with Abdelmagoud lurking. So another corner from the right hand side. Zizou once more to deliver. An outswinger headed towards goal, or headed across goal. Will be retrieved on this near side by Adel, who's got two French defenders for company. Plays it back to Coker. Coker's cross is headed away by Mateta, who's still back defending for the corner. But Egypt have it once more on the right hand side. Can they get another dangerous ball into the penalty area? They do, but El Neni is beaten to it by Badé, who's doing sterling work at the back there for France. And that means that Egypt have to go all the way back to goalkeeper Allah. He plays it to Zizou, short of the halfway line on the right hand side. His ball forward was searching for Faisal, but Lukabar got in the way. Got it out over the far touchline, but Egypt having a good spell here in these last few minutes. Very even contest so far, and still goalless here in Lyon at the 25-minute mark. It's back with Allah, who walks it to the right of the penalty spot. Will he kick long or will he play short? He plays short to El Neni. It's down by the right corner flag of Egypt. They won't want it to stay there for very long. That's not a good ball inside. They've given the ball away. Here's Shotar playing it backwards. Shot comes in and it whistles wide from Michael Elise. He latched on to that poor pass inside and let fly from some 25 yards. He was trying to bend it in the far post, and it whistled a foot or so wide of that far post. I think a few French fans were expecting the net to bulge. I think Elise will perhaps be disappointed he didn't get that on target. All came from a loose pass from Egypt. Crunching challenge just over the halfway line. It's broken for Egypt. Here's Adel. He's running at his man just outside the penalty area. He's got inside the box and pulled it back. Oh, scuffed effort. I think it was Fezel. It was good work from Adel, who got inside his man. He got the better of Sildilia. Did really well, but Fezel scuffed the shot and hit a French defender. France survived. Ball is out again on this near side. There'll be a throw to France, which they've taken quickly. And here is Shotar, 15 yards outside his penalty area. Walks it forward a few strides before finding Lakiba. And now the ball is with Bade, who's just inside Egyptian territory to the right of the centre circle. Super ball, right to left. Theirry attacking the space, but doesn't get past his man. Really good challenge by Shahata. It's left the Frenchman in a bit of a heap. Theirry is down. Well, I think Shahata got the ball, but that doesn't mean that Theirry isn't feeling that. Well, I think that's a fair tackle. I would say it is. Ball's out for a throw. Theirry Henry didn't like the tackle, I don't think. Having a word with one of his backroom staff. But a throw is all that's been given to France. Theirry appears to be back on his feet. A few Egyptian flags wave. As I said at the top of the show, they're the hope of North Africa now, after the demise of Morocco, who led Spain at half-time in the other semi-final before going on to lose 2-1. Another Egyptian is brought to ground. Saber was fouled by Shotar, and that will be a free kick to Egypt. But yes, Morocco led at half-time through Rahimi's 6th goal of the tournament, but they couldn't hold on. Spain getting the winner 5 minutes from time. So the winners of Euro 24 could be the winners of Paris 24 as well. That would be quite some double for the Spaniards. Got a bit to go before that happens. These two sides will have something to say about that. Well, an Egyptian player there ran into Lukabar as he was trying to run forward. The referee said it wasn't obstruction, and the ball remains with France. And here is Lukabar laying it back to Restes. Restes walking it towards his penalty spot. Just stands on the ball and turns it sideways to his right to Bade, who He's had a very good first half, like Bade. Played really well. Plays in the Liga for Seville. He's of Ivorian descent, so could play for Côte d'Ivoire if he wanted to. But he's turned out here for France. And here he is again, over the halfway line. It's a good ball out to the right-hand side. And a Kiyush to the right of the penalty area, tries to put the ball across. Comes off an Egyptian foot, off El Deebs. It goes behind for a corner which is taken quickly. It's played into the penalty area but cleared by Egypt. Chotard will retreat back towards the halfway line and retain possession for France. Square pass to Diouf. Diouf runs through the centre circle, finds Lakiba. Then Bade gets another touch almost on the halfway line, and then Lakiba gives it away. Can Egypt make something of this down the left? Here's Zizou. Zizou with Diouf for company. Zizou runs inside, goes to ground. Referee says he threw himself on the floor. And I'm not quite sure why he did that, because he could have reached that ball. Well, that was a bit silly, really, from Zizou. I think there was a little pull at him, but he made a three-course meal out of it, and the referee wasn't impressed. Let's see it again. Well, there's hardly a touch at all, actually. And Zizou throws himself on the floor and says he had 2 handfuls of my shirt. Well, that's not quite true, I'm afraid. You made too much of that, young man, and that's why you haven't got a free kick. It's a throw instead to Egypt, just short of the halfway line on this near side, their left. And from it, they give the ball away. Here's Chotard, back to Bade, halfway inside his own half. Square to his left is Lakiba, and now Chotard again in the centre circle. Chotard over the halfway line, finds Diouf. He's got Truffert galloping up on the left again. Truffert puts the ball into the box, headed away to the edge of the area. Akouche goes to shoot, scuffs it, miskicks it, and Egypt clear to the halfway line. Bade is immediately there and gallops into the Egyptian half once more on the left-hand side. He's still got Truffert out on that far touchline and uses him. They work it back inside France. Here's Chotard, back to Truffert again, who's done so much marauding down that left-hand side. He retreats back to Chotard, who's midway inside the Egyptian half, central position. Passes to his right. And Sildilia gets it back again from Elise. Plays it into the centre circle to Lakiba. France trying to manoeuvre the Egyptian defence around. Here's Akouche again. But Mateta couldn't hold on to the pass from Akouche. France retain possession though. Here's Chotard. Bade. Akouche once more. He's got Truffert out to his left and he's found him. Truffert across the goal. Hooked away again by Egypt, but they're under some pressure now. Can't really get rid of it. Ball played to the edge of the area. Lacazette got a touch. Akouche was crowded out. And Zizou gets the ball to Sabert, and Sabert is fouled. Surely he is, and that will relieve the pressure on the Egyptian goal. Well, it was Faisal actually that got onto the ball, and he was brought down by Truffert. That was silly really, because Egypt was struggling to get out. And France gave them an easy get out in the end. 34 minutes played here in Lyon. France 0, Egypt 0. The early shot from Truffert, which Egypt just about smuggled away off the palms of Allah. The closest we've come to a goal. Here come Egypt down the right hand side. Played in field to Zizou, who tries to turn his man, but Lakiba is just too strong and holds him off. Good defending by Lakiba. Up towards the halfway line. Lacazette tries to hold the ball up. Egyptian foot gets in. Lacazette says he was being held. I think there was a bit of 6 and 2 threes about that, because I think he had a handful of the Egyptian shirt as well. And the referee decided what was good for one was good for the other. Here's Bade lofting a ball over the top. It's just got too much on it. It skips across the turf, away from Akouche, and out for a goal kick to Egypt. 10 minutes to go, plus stoppage time in the first half. A reminder, of course, that if we're level after 90 minutes tonight, we'll have extra time and penalties, which probably nobody wants, with a possible gold medal match looming, especially as there wasn't extra time in the other game. You want to give your potential opponents a physical advantage. Here come Egypt once more with Shahata. It's over the halfway line on that far side. They'll play it back into their own half with Abdel Magid and now Deebs just short of the halfway line. Abdel plays the ball on nicely. Fazel can't keep his feet though, and France nip in with Diouf. Egypt dispossessing once more though, and they might have a bit of room on this right hand side now with Zizou. Zizou's got a man outside him and he uses him. Can they get a decent cross in from Shahata? Well, it's headed away by Bade and away for a corner. So they made something of that, Egypt. It's not quite the cut and thrust about them that they'd want, but they're staying in this game. They've ridden out another period of French pressure, where for a few minutes they couldn't get out, and now they've got another set piece that they might be able to effect some danger from. It's a corner from the right, to be taken by Zizou, one hand aloft. In it comes, it's played towards the near post, hooked on towards the far side. There's another corner. Fazel tried to latch onto it, and it was headed away by Sildilia. Yep, Sildilia's put it behind for a corner. Plays for Freiburg, Sildilia, in the Bundesliga. Guadeloupe and Madagascar ancestry. So he'd have a few choices internationally at full level. Well, Zizou's come across to the left-hand side now, so this will be an in-swinger with the right foot. Drilled to the centre of the penalty area, headed away again. Need I tell you, it was Bade. Hooked back into the penalty area once more, headed away by Mateta. Egypt try and feed it back in though, and they may have caught France coming out. Here's Zizou to the left of the penalty area, faced by Bade. Puts it to the edge of the box, weak header. Really weak header from Coker. Probably not the man they wanted that pass to fall to. It was almost a back pass of a header, and no danger to Restes. Even so, Egypt have had 8 shots, 2 on target. France only 4 shots, 1 on target. So Egypt have carried the greater threat in terms of shots. Here's Truffaut down that left-hand side once more, just in from the far touchline. Exchanges passes with Diouf. Now finds Akouche, who's drifted out to that left-hand side. His ball in is headed away, but only as far as Diouf. He feeds it back to Akouche to the left of the penalty area, and his attempted cross comes off the feet of Shahata and behind for a corner to France. 6.5 minutes of the first half remaining here in Lyon. Still, this second semi-final is yet to see the deadlock broken. It's not been for the want of trying, though. On what looks a hot night in Lyon, Jean-Philippe Mateta is pouring sweat as he takes his position in the penalty area. Headed forward by Bade, it's hit the post. Can they scramble it clear? Mateta! Lacazette tried to tee up Lakiba and he hit it over the bar. Well, that was the closest we've come. I said Bade had done some sterling defensive work. Well, he nearly did some sterling offensive work there. It was a free header, cannoned against the far post, and Lacazette tried to hook it over his head. It came off Lacazette's head, and Lakiba attempted a bicycle kick and got underneath it and lofted it over the bar. but that's the closest we've come to a goal. Just the width of a post between France and the lead. Can Egypt clear their heads from that? That's a scare where they're concerned. Shahata plays it over the halfway line. Truffert, for once, in his own defensive half, intercepts the ball and sets France going forward again. Here's Bade, who's just struck the post. Playing it over the halfway line to Elise, just in from the far touchline, the French left, and just inside the Egyptian half, but he comes back into French territory. Bade has it once more, stands on the ball, just over the halfway line. Here is Diouf now. Diouf finding Elise, who's dropped deep, to try and manufacture something. Lakiba, who had that bicycle kick. Bade to this near touchline, and Akish. He's played the ball forward. He was looking for the run of Chotard. Across came El Neni and put it out for a throw. About 10 yards from the corner flag. France cranking it up again late in the half. They've had 2 or 3 spells like this of a period of pressure. Haven't been able to make it count yet. Here's Elise down by the byline, faced by 2. Tries to trick his way past 1, but El Neni stands in his way. Can El Neni clear? Well, no, he lost his footing and gave away a throw. Well, I thought he'd given away a throw down by the corner flag. The assistant said he was fouled. I'm not convinced he was. I think he just overstretched for a ball and lost it. He picks himself up a little gingerly. I think he's quite lucky to get a foul out of that, myself. But there we are. Theirry Henry can't believe it, hands on head. But a free kick it is to Egypt. Probably just 6 or 7 yards from the byline and 5 yards from the near touchline, the Egyptian left. Abdelmajid kicks it forward over the halfway line. Fazal jumps for it. Comes off Fazal and out for a throw. Just short of the halfway line to France. Sildilia throws it in quickly, finds Bade. Bade towards the centre circle. Diouf just cushions it back into the path of Lakiba. Lakiba to his right, and Bade, who's now in the centre circle, over the halfway line to Lakiba. Diouf out to that far touchline, and Truffert thought about putting in an early ball, but there wasn't anybody far enough forward really for him to do so. So they build again with Bade out to Akish on this near touchline. He runs in field, finds Bade once more to the right of the centre circle, forward of that circle to Lakiba, and now Bade once more. Bade to this right hand side and Chotard bends a ball in, hooked away by Egypt over this near touchline for a throw. I think maybe the Egyptians would like the half-time whistle at this point because they're having to weather some more pressure from the hosts. Still Dilia throws it into centre field to Lakiba. Lakiba, that's nice control from him. Took it away from Zizou, found Truffert, and then got it back once more and found Bade almost on the centre spot. Bade advances forward, goes left to Lakiba, and Lakiba to the left touchline and Truffert. Back to Bade in the centre circle. Patience from France. Can they manufacture a really good chance before the break? Here's Elise, just 10 yards in from this near touchline, the French right. Back to Bade. Bade to Lakiba. Lakiba finds Truffert. Mateta is out close to them as well, offering himself. He's not used. Diouf gets the ball instead. Back to Bade in the centre circle, but in the Egyptian half. Out to Akish on this near side. The French right puts it into the box. It's just too far ahead of Mateta, and it bends away from him and out for a goal kick. We're almost at the point of knowing how many minutes of time added on we'll have in this first half. Won't be many, I don't think. There's not been too many stoppages to speak of. We've had Treffaire's shot parried by Allah, and Badet's header against the post. Half chances for Egypt. They've not been able to make the most of any of them. Their boss, Rogerio Michele, just putting his palms to the ground as if to say, calm down, we're nearly at half time, we're only playing a minute of time added on. Can they manufacture one chance, Egypt? They have it on the far side with Zizou. Finds El Neni. El Neni steps away from Elise. Plays it in field. Can they move it? It's back to El Neni again. El Neni to a central area. Oh, I thought there was a shooting chance there for a moment for Saber. He's got it out to this left-hand side and Adel. But Adel's ball inside is tidied up by France and they win a free kick. And that will probably be half-time. Elise's gone down and threatened to lose his temper. And the referee decides that's as good a time as any to blow the half-time whistle. Well, Egypt have actually had more shots than France, but they haven't done an awful lot with them. And the two best chances have fallen to the hosts. Adrien Treffaire's early shot from the left-hand side of the box, parried by Allah and scrambled away by the Egyptians. And Badet, late in the half, had a free header from a corner which struck the base of the far post. But we're all square at the break, all still to play for, and Spain still don't know who they'll play in the gold medal match on Friday. France 0, Egypt 0. Join us for the second half shortly. to knowing the identity of Spain's opponents, because we're goalless at half-time here in the Guapama Stadium in Lyon. It's not been for the want of trying, though. Adrien Truffert had an excellent shot early in the game, palmed away by Egyptian keeper Hamza Allah, and it was scrambled clear by his defenders. And later in the half, Loic Bade, who's had a fabulous game at centre-back so far for the French, was up for a corner and headed against the base of the far post. It hasn't been one-way traffic, though. Egypt have had plenty of shots, but they've not yet managed to find the sting to really trouble the palms of Guilherme Restes in the French goal. Referee Martinez from Honduras getting ready to get the second half underway, with France now kicking from right to left. Are we 45 minutes from knowing the identity of Spain's gold medal opponents, or will we need extra time, and dare we say it, the dreaded penalties as well? Let's see. Here is Lukiba, who, when Bade hit the base of the post late in the half, bicycle kicked the rebound over the top of the bar from off the head of Alexandre Lacazette. Here come Egypt, though. Adele's back header, her back heel, finds a teammate just short of the halfway line. Egypt have been forced to retreat, though, all the way back to Allah, and now hoisted forward towards the halfway line. Faisal competes for it. Oh, that's a really sloppy pass from Ahmed Koka, which gave the ball away. Concedes a throw to France, 15 yards inside the Egyptian half on that far side, the French right. Thrown to Lacazette, who tries to spin away from his marker and turn the ball across the box from the byline. Two French defenders block the way. They hook the ball clear, and now Hossam has gone down, hurt. Let's have a look at this. Well, yeah, I think they went down in a bit of a tangle. I don't think there was any malice intended from Lacazette. I think he may well have been penalised and a free kick given, but he was just genuinely competing for the ball there. Great to see lots of youngsters in the crowd on this Monday night. I think it's school holidays in France, so no teachers will be chasing them tomorrow for falling asleep in class. And even if they do, I guess they could argue this is a history lesson, or a part of history. Free kick played over the halfway line. Adele tries to flick the ball on, but it goes out for a throw to France. Adele's tried to get involved in the game on that left-hand side, but has been a little bit isolated at times. Needs somebody playing a little bit closer to him to put the French under pressure. Here is Bade, who arguably was the player of that first half at both ends of the pitch. Akouche tried to play it forward, came off an Egyptian foot and out for a throw. Akouche, 46 games in the last 3 seasons for Monaco, where he plays his football. Thrown back to Bade. Bade of Sevilla. Here is Andy Diouf. Back to Chotard, just forward of the centre circle. His ball towards the penalty area only finds the head of Zizou. Oh, Egypt have almost played themselves into trouble there, and they have to hook it out over this near touchline for a throw. They headed it back towards their own goal and caused themselves a problem. Here's Truffert going back to Lukiba, and now Bade, who's the only French player other than goalkeeper Restes in his own half at that moment, finds Lukiba out to this left touchline. Truffert will attempt to put the cross in. It's headed back across the goal. It was kept in by Lacazette, and that had the Egyptian defenders scurrying somewhat. It's a good job there wasn't anybody attacking the far post for France, otherwise it would have been a tap-in. A scary moment for Egypt at the start of the second half. Here's Michael Elise playing the ball inside, back to Akouche, midway inside the Egyptian half, central position, finds Trefair out on this left hand side, 10 yards outside the box. He comes in field, just lays the ball back to Shotar to Lakiba, and Lakiba to Bade, back to Lakiba once more, to the left of the centre circle. Shotar, French voices rise in anticipation. Here's Akouche to Trefair. Trefair just in from this near touchline, the French left, almost level with the 18-yard area. France are forced back once more. Here is Costella Lakiba in the centre circle. Finds his central defensive partner Bade. Lakiba once more. France retreating back towards their own goal. Bade, though, stands on the ball, confidently sweeps it out to the right hand side, and Sildilia over the halfway line. Here's Akouche. He's got Elise with him. Elise comes in field, lays it into the penalty area to Lacazette. He tries to find Elise once more, very coolly tidied up by Makelneni, but Egypt can't keep the ball, and it's back in French possession. French look a little more dominant at the start of this second half. They sweep a ball to this left hand side. Trefair exchanges passes with Mateta, then runs into the defensive barrier, and Zizou tries to run it away. That was good defensive work, in fact, by Omar Fayed, who's a pretty big unit. But France have won the ball back again with Elise approaching the right edge of the penalty area. Has a dip, palmed away by Allah. Comes to Trefair on this left hand side. He's almost level with the 18-yard box. He retreats back to Lakiba. Lakiba to a more central position, and Diouf. French pressure increasing. Sildilia out to that far touchline, and Akouche. Here's Diouf again. Akouche once more. Big mop of hair. Plays it back to Bade. Bade holds off Fazel. That's good play by France, trying to make progress down the right hand side. Hooked away by Egypt into French territory, but only back into possession of the blue shirts. Bade retrieves, gets it to Shotar. Shotar, that's a lovely ball down this left hand side. Trefair will keep it in once more. He's 10 yards from the byline, sweeps it into the penalty area. Mateta can't make too much of it, and Egypt clear once more. Here's Fazel out on that far touchline. Ball inside's not a good one though. Too much to do for his teammate Saber, and they give the ball away once more. If they can't keep the ball at all in this second half, Egypt, in the end they're going to be run ragged or passed to death, you feel. Here's Shotar. Square pass. Bade to the right of the centre circle in Egyptian territory. Lovely ball down the right hand side, looking for Elise. Keeps it in on the byline, but can only backheel it into the possession of Egypt. But they can't keep it. They've played the ball forward. It's come off Fazel, out cheaply for a throw. They have to do better than that. Otherwise, you can only see this ending one way. Diouf comes out to this left hand side to Trefair again, who's got plenty of room to put a cross in. Hooked away by Arneni. Can they hold on to the ball? No, they can't. Back come France again. This is really turning into a game of attack against defence at this point. Lakiba to Shotar. Shotar, been with Montpellier since 2016. He was promoted to their first team squad in 2019. Here's Bade once more. Remember this boy's name. He's going to play football at a good level, I tell you that. And so might this man, Trefair. Adrien Trefair finds Diouf, goes for the return ball. Egypt intercept and smuggle the ball out for a throw, but they're under the cosh. Le Bleu are cranking up the pressure here in Lyon. Back with Lakiba into the centre circle, and Bade chips the ball towards this left-hand side, and Theirry, but it's intercepted by Egypt. Can they hold on to the ball? They have to get some passes together. Well, they've lost it again. A weak chest from Saber gave the ball away. And here come France once more with Elise on the right edge of the area. Good tackle by Egypt. Is there room for Adel to get forward? He's got lots of men to beat, but he's got past two, and he's played a good ball to this right-hand side, and Zizou, he will keep it in, down by this near touchline. He's only a few yards from the byline. He's overhit the cross, though. He was too far ahead of Faisal, who was the only man in the box. And it's out for a throw on the far side to France, which they've taken quickly. I think France want to play at a high tempo here because they're confident at this stage of the game that they can keep the ball, and that will tire the Egyptians quicker. It was the French who really mowed down America in the second half of their group game that France won 4-0. Can they do something similar here? Here's Theirry, 15 yards from the byline and 5 yards in from the near touchline, the French left. Back to Akish. Akish inside to Bade. Bade thought about having a shot from 40 yards for a minute. He's got a bit closer now. He drifts the ball out to the right-hand side. Here is Elise. Elise, 25 yards from the corner flag. Just plays a little short pass inside. And France come back to just forward of the centre circle. They find Akish once more. Here's Lacazette. Well, it was a little bit lazy from Lacazette. Took too long to get his pass off and got robbed. But again, Egypt try and play the ball out of defence. They play the ball up in the hope that a man can hold the ball up, and it just skims off his foot and out for a throw. And so the French come again. Andy Diouf. I wonder if Rogerio Mikale will think about some substitutions to give his side some freshness. They may need it. They're penned in their right back position. They've given the ball away again to Akush. Here is Lakiba and Shotar. Now Bade, midway inside the Egyptian half, central position, finds Akush. Akush drifts it towards the penalty area, headed away by Egypt, but nowhere in particular. Anywhere will do. Well, France had spells like this in the first half of 4 or 5 minutes where Egypt can't get the ball, but it's been like this almost since the second half began here, and that was 12 minutes ago. And the pressure is almost relentless now from the French. Here they come again down the right-hand side. Akush overruns the ball. Ball from Adel. Here's Zizou attacking down the right of centre. They have the ball centre of the French half. Shahata runs forward, finds Zizou just in from the near touchline, the Egyptian right, but Egypt have retreated again. Any hope of launching a counter-attack that would stretch France has gone now because they've taken too long, but maybe they've just decided they want to string a few passes together, keep the ball for a few minutes, relieve the pressure, perhaps quieten the crowd. Here's El Nene. Plays the ball inside, picks it up again, sweeps a square pass to the left. Well, El Deeb's picked it up. They've retreated all the way back to goalkeeper Allah, and Allah finds Omar Fayed. El Nene back to his goalkeeper once more. Oh, that's a terrible pass out. Oh, they didn't make the most of that, France. They were sloppy there, but again Egypt have given the ball away, and Bade will pick it up just inside his own half, play it to the centre spot, and Shotar, who's really acting as the water carrier, linking defence and attack. Played a short pass to Juve, got it back again. Out to that far touchline, and Sildilia, who's creeping further and further forward because nobody is putting him under pressure on that left-hand side. Adele's having to drop deeper and deeper to pick him up. Here's Lakiba, back to Bade. Bade just touches it off in the direction of Shotar. Akyush. Shotar's made the run forward, sweeps it across the box. Poor clearance, shot comes in, it's wide. Well, Lacazette should have done much better with that. I think in fairness he tried to get the shot off quickly on his left foot, and he just stabbed it wide of the goal. Might have been better off having a whack with his right. Henry turns away in disgust. Lacazette praying hands. If he's praying that nobody noticed, he's going to be wrong, because the stadium is packed and there are many others watching and listening in who all know that that's a big chance for the former Arsenal man, now in his second spell with Lyon. 5 years at Arsenal. Sometimes not a regular there, of course, but 16 full caps, Alexandre Lacazette. Just 3 goals at 33, skippering this team as one of its overage players. Egypt in possession once more with El Neni. That's a nice turn away from trouble, and from Lacazette, played down the left-hand side. Here is Adele once more, finding El Neni, but they've been forced back into their own half again. Here's Fayed to this near touchline, and Zizou. Zizou's got Shahata going up outside him. He didn't use him initially, and then he did, and by that time Shahata's run had stalled. But he's played it inside. Shot comes in. Here's another chance, and it's a goal! Egypt have stolen the lead here in Lyon out of nothing. They've hardly ventured out of their half in this second half, but they came forward. France failed to deal with the ball into the box, and he got 2 bites of the cherry, did Mahmoud Sabah, and the second time he's buried it into the roof of the net. And Egypt lead, and the hosts trail. His initial shot came off the heels of Loic Bade, but he latched onto the rebound and rifled it over the head of Rastes into the roof of the net. France 0, Egypt 1. Are we in for a shock in Lyon? Jean-Philippe Mateta points his 2 index fingers to the sides of his temple as Rogerio Michele celebrates on the touchline. Theirry Henry turns away, wondering now how he can rally his troops. Well, I didn't see that coming. Egypt have been under constant pressure in this second half. They make one venture forward, and Mahmoud Sabah rifles them in front. Well, well, well. France 0, Egypt 1, and that's the cue for the French substitutes to go marching up the touchline. Well, well, well. What can France do to respond? Well, Morocco were ahead against Spain in the first semi-final, and they lost 2-1. Can Egypt do what their North African counterparts couldn't? Oh, here's a header from Mateta, tipped over by Allah. Ball in from the right-hand side, flicked on by Akyush. Mateta got the header in. I don't know whether he was offside. Allah didn't know that, and he threw up a right hand and tipped it over. No offside flag came, so it's a corner to France. That goal has lit the touch paper here in Lyon. Really has. A corner to France from the right, now trailing 1-0. In it comes from Elise. to Bade, who heads it into the penalty area, headed away to the edge of the area. Bade picks it up once more, dinks a ball into the box. Here's a chance. It's headed wide by Akyush. That's a really good chance. It was a lovely ball from Bade. He was on the right corner of the 6-yard box, Akyush. Tried to beat Hamza Allah at his near post and headed it wide. Well, it's not quite a sitter, but it's a great chance. And France have spurned it. And with 64.5 minutes played here in Lyon, the hosts still trail 1-0. These two sides met 40 years ago in a quarter-final, which France won 2-0. Well, Egypt will have waited a long time to reverse that. Can they do it here? Here comes Lukiba. Ball inside. That's lovely football. Here's Lacazette. Blocked by Allah. And his defenders help him out. Really good football. Diouf played the ball in. Lacazette played a 1-2 with Mateta. And Lacazette couldn't get enough on it. And I think it actually hits the backside of Hamza Allah. No, it doesn't. It's his left hand that gets down. He does well to make the save. Is this going to be an Alamo, we wonder, for the last 25 minutes of this match? France have got to throw everything, the hosts. Egypt were looking rocky before they scored. Now they've got something to hold on to and believe in. France have a throw on the far side, almost level with the 18-yard box. The far side, they're right. They throw it back to Bade, who'll be frustrated that his block of Saber's first shot only fell back to the winger to score again. Here's Truffert down this left-hand side. He's marauding, he's gone past his man, he's got to the byline, drifted the ball across, cleared the two in the centre. Here's Akyush on the far side, drifts the ball back in, Lacazette heads on, Mateta palmed away again, kicked up in the air by El Neni. Desperate defending from the Egyptians. Desperate defending from the Egyptians. They hack the ball clear, and Bade has it once more. Here come France. Elise tries to find Akyush, who says he was pulled back. Referee doesn't agree, gives a goal kick. Akyush looks accusingly at the assistant referee. Mateta's header was heading into the hands of Allah. One of his defenders got in the way and it caused mayhem. There wasn't an awful lot of calling between the two of them, I don't think. Lacazette went sprawling, saying he'd been pushed by Fayed. There were a few French appeals for a penalty. Nothing came of that either. And we've reached the 3-quarter mark here in Lyon. France 0, Egypt 1. The goal kick only falls to French feet. Here's Diouf. Lacazette tried to tee up Elise. Again, El Deeb's got in the way. Elise has it though, can put the ball across, too much on it. It will be retrieved on the far side by Truffert. Truffert goes past his man again. Beats one, couldn't beat two. Played the ball back to Mateta. Now to Lakiba. And Shotar, centre of the field in Egyptian territory. Sildilia to the far side and Akyush, who's hugging that right touchline now in a way that he wasn't in the first half. Lakiba to Truffert, 10 yards outside the penalty area. He comes infield, tries to play a central pass to Lacazette, goes beyond his man, and Egypt can tidy up again. Shahata from the right back position lofts the ball over the halfway line. It's too far ahead of its intended target, who was Zizou, I think. And France build once more. A chipped pass to this left-hand side. It was intended for Truffert. Shahata intercepted it and headed it out for a throw. which Trafair took quickly. In the meantime, Hamza Allah has gone down in the Egyptian penalty area. The referee seems to be suggesting to him that he's wasting time, whereas Allah says, I've got a problem with my right leg. Seems to be a problem with the lower right leg. Don't know whether it's calf or whether it's the area just above the shin. Didn't seem to have been an impact on it, so whether he did it jumping to fist the ball away that was played into the penalty area just now, I don't know. Maybe he jumped to fist it away and landed awkwardly, I don't know. But we've got a stoppage in play, with Egypt leading 1-0 thanks to Mahmoud Saber's goal just after the hour. Rifled into the top of the net at the second attempt. France will be wanting to make sure that this time is added on again. Egypt warming up a substitute keeper in case one is needed. Yes, I think he's done this damage, either turning that header from Mateta over the bar earlier on, or jumping to fist the ball away that Mateta headed towards goal soon after that. The magic spray seems to have done its bit for now, because he's going to carry on. We've got 20 minutes plus stoppage time remaining in the game. The referee is signalling that play can continue, and Trafair is going to throw it in. He faked as if to throw it long and then threw it back to Andy Diouf. Diouf into the centre circle, and Loic Badé. Badé walks it forward to midway inside the Egyptian half, central position. Can only play it square to the right, and Sildilia, who finds Badé once more. Badé runs between two Egyptian players. It's come to Akouche and now to Elise. Elise inside again and now swept to this left hand side, and Trafair, can he get a decent ball in? He's floated it into the box. It was only half headed away by Fayed, but it was whacked over the bar by Akouche. And the frustration goes on for France. Trafair put another decent ball into the box, but the massive figure of Fayed got his head to it first, and when it dropped to Akouche, he was falling away from the ball and volleyed it over the bar. Still plenty of time for France, but you always have that nagging feeling when you're behind in the second half that the minutes are ticking away faster than they are. Here come Egypt again with Adel. Fazel got a touch, but it's back in French possession. Elise tries to take on Karim El Deebs, but Deebs does well. Finds El Neni, who's been a good steadying influence, the Egyptian captain. Into the centre circle, and Zizou. Zizou flicks it with the outside of his foot to Shahata, who's now in French territory. Back to Zizou, who retreats towards the halfway line. Fayed. Shahata on the halfway line, just in from the near touchline. Oh, that's a lovely pass through the legs. Here's Zizou, central position. Well, I don't know why he was thinking of trying a shot from there. He puts his hands up in apology. He hit it from about 40 yards and just scuffed it, and it just bobbled over the dead ball line and out for a goal kick. France are warming up a substitute. They're getting ready to unleash Désiré Doué from Rennes, another French player of Ivorian descent. 57 appearances for Rennes. Is he going to be the man to rescue them, we wonder? Here's Elise, forward to Lacazette, back to goal, does well, finds Diouf, central position, 30 yards out, goes left to Trafair. Trafair back to Lacazette, 30 yards out, and the referee says he was pushed over and fouled, and that'll be a free kick to France. Faisal was a little too aggressive there, and France win a free kick. He was too aggressive too. A little push in the back and then a little pull on the shirt. But this is between 30 and 35 yards out. It's pretty much level with the left-hand side of the D. So you'd think it's either a right-footer's shot or for a left-footer to dink towards the far side of the box. What's it to be? Chotard is over it, as is Elise. Chotard drifts it into the box, headed on by Lacazette, hits the post, comes back to Acouche, headed against the bar by Bede. Oh my goodness, they've struck woodwork twice in a matter of seconds. Lacazette's header left the goalkeeper helpless, cannoned off the post, and when it was played back in, Bede's headed it onto the junction of post and bar, and France are denied again. 3 times now they've struck the woodwork in the game. Andy Diouf has given way. I think it's Douay that's come on in his stead. It is. So Diouf off and Douay on. France wondering when their luck will turn. Chotard over his head gives Douay a first chance to run. And Douay is penalised for a foul down on the halfway line. A foul on Shahata. He pulled him back by the shirt. Right at the junction of the halfway line and this near touchline, the Egyptian right. And so they will have a free kick, and they'll take all the time in the world with 14 minutes plus stoppage time to play. Shahata over the halfway line. France win it back though. Here's Elise playing in a more central position. Plays it out left to Douay. Truffert is running on the overlap. Douay doesn't use him and loses the ball. Well, that wasn't a great intervention for Douay's first contribution. A foul and then giving the ball away. France have it back though with Elise. He's played it to the right edge of the box, and Sildilia, and his ball in comes off the foot of Hossam Abdelmajid and out for a corner to France. The hosts, the hopes of a nation, riding on them after the disappointment of Euro 24, which France exited far too early. In comes the corner, headed away by Fayed, only to the edge of the area, but Lukiba tried a shot and hooked it over the bar. A shot of some desperation, that. Fayed first to the ball again. He's a massive figure in that Egyptian defence. He really is. Well, we said at the top of the show that they conceded 11 goals in each of the 4 games, or at least, 11 shots in at least 11 shots in each of their 4 games so far, Egypt, but they'd only conceded 2 goals. So now that they're ahead, they'll be fairly confident in their defence, you would think. They needed that goal to hold on to because they were quaking and creaking when that goal went in. Here's Douay, but he's been beaten to it by Zizou. Zizou's played his fullback into trouble though. Can they work their way out of defence? No, they've lost the ball. Here's Truffert. Oh, loose from Lacazette, trying to find Elise. Can Egypt launch a counter-attack? They come over the halfway line on the left-hand side. They've slowed it down though. It's Fazel teasing Bede, who can't win the ball back off him, but Egypt have retreated back into their own half. Here is Fayed to this near touchline, and Shahata. Truffert snaps into a tackle, ends up giving away a throw which Shahata will take. Coker and Shahata are having to double up at times to deal with the threat of Truffert. They have a goal to hold on to as time slowly but inexorably ticks away here in Lyon. France nil, Egypt 1. Bede takes it on his chest. finds Chotard in the centre circle. Chotard advances forward slowly with no great urgency. Square to Bade, out to the far touchline, and Sildilia further up that touchline to Elise, into the box to Lacazette. Turns, finds Elise again, weak shot. Easy save for Hamza Allah, who will fall on the ball and waste a few more seconds, you fancy. Well, Lacazette was having the back of his shirt pulled like you wouldn't believe when that ball was played to him back to goal in the box. But defenders tend to get away with that, and they got away with it there too. Here's Lukiba for France, who've hit the woodwork 3 times in this match, but haven't managed to find the back of the net. Lukiba to Bade on halfway. He advances forward once more. Knocks it out to the right hand side. Elise, who's gone back out on the wide, played it in field. Here's Truffert in a central position. Couldn't trick his way past his man. Lukiba ran forward, and the referee says Lukiba was fouled. Well, I think Lukiba knocked the ball too far and was falling into his man anyway. I think he was lucky to get that free kick, but get it he did. And so it's a free kick to France, some 30 yards out, midway between the left-hand side of the D and the left edge of the area. Maybe a bit more than 30 yards, maybe nearer 35. Chotard will drift it in, right-footed. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 French shirts on the edge of the penalty area. Chotard puts the ball in, headed away again, this time by Adel. Chotard puts the ball in once more though, and this time they couldn't get to it. Lukiba shot through a crowd of bodies and wide. Nearly every shot that France have had in the last 10 minutes has fallen to Lukiba, and they'd probably rather it fell to almost anyone else, because the centre-back hasn't given any indication that he knows where the goal is, and that's a problem. 32 appearances for Leon since he joined last summer. He didn't break his duck in that time, and he's not looked like breaking it here either. France looking to twist again and make another substitution as the goal kick's taken. Headed forward by France, and Bade just having a few picture issues in the last few seconds. We'll try and stay with you. Here's Elise bursting forward for France, lays it through. Here's a chance, Mateta, he scored. Mateta has levelled for France. A lovely ball by Elise, and Mateta was in, and he was in the clear, and he's lofted it beyond the advancing Allah. That's his 3rd goal in as many games in this tournament for Mateta. He beat the offside trap. It was a gorgeous ball from Elise from a central position, and Mateta just scooped it beyond Allah, and Egypt have been caught 3 times against the woodwork, but Mateta has done the trick, and France are level. France 1, Egypt 1. Jean-Philippe Mateta's 3rd goal of the tournament. And so as it stands, we're heading for extra time here in Lyon. Bade plays it all the way back to Restes. Oh, Restes, that's a poor ball out of defence. Truffert just about manages to tidy up. And here's Lukiba finding Bade out to that far side, and Agush, who looks very tired, moving down that right hand side, but finds Elise, who found the pass to unlock the Egyptians. Here's Lacazette through to Agush. Can he pull it back? Well, he thought he had. Mateta backheeled it into the net, but the referee said the ball had gone out. and he's given a goal kick. But Jean-Philippe Mateta, the Crystal Palace man, yep, ball was well out. Good decision by the officials. But Jean-Philippe Mateta, he didn't get that one, but he's got the leveller. France 1, Egypt 1. Just over 6 minutes of normal time remaining here in Lyon. Can Egypt come again? They were under pressure when they scored the opening goal, which came out of nothing. France resumed the pressure, and they finally got level. Odds are that France will go on and win, you would feel. Here's Theirry, who can cross from the byline on the left. He does so, right towards the far post, headed away by El Deebs to the far touchline for a throw. Mateta turns to the French crowd, waving his hands as if to say, give us a bit more support. Fayed's gone down in the penalty area. Well, he was on the stretch, and his foot got caught underneath him. That looks painful, that one. Mateta's gone across to see if he's alright. Well, VAR are just illustrating that Mateta was well onside. They didn't come out in a line, Egypt. They left a man in there. Left Mateta onside. And he didn't need any second invitation. Was in really good form for Crystal Palace at the end of the Premier League season. They'll be glad to have him back, especially in this goal-scoring form. He won't need a pre-season to get match fit, that's for sure. Not after this. France start us again from a throw. There's Bade putting it into the box. A rather clumsy clearance by Egypt, but they do get rid of it. But only to the halfway line. Apologies if my voice is beginning to crackle. Here's Doué, gets to the byline, pulls the ball back. Mateta misses his kick, comes to Theirry, his shot's blocked. And Egypt can clear once more with Zizou towards the halfway line. Fezel tried to hold it up, but he was outnumbered. And France have the ball back once more. Chotard swings it out to the far side. Akiush plays it back inside. Chotard in the centre circle. Plays it to his left, and Lakiba. And Lakiba to this left touchline, Doué. Doué can't get past his man though. He's got another chance now. Can he trick his way to the byline? No, he can't. Runs straight into the defender, who clears up the touchline. Only back into French possession, and Chotard. Chotard comes to centre field. He's 35 yards from goal. Sweeps it to the right to Elise. Elise to Akish, who's almost on the byline, faced by Sabir. Back to Elise. His cross is deflected onto the head of Mateta, who heads over the bar. I can't believe he's arguing with the referee that that's a corner, because it certainly wasn't. It's a goal kick to Egypt, with just under 3 minutes of normal time remaining. Egypt briefly in possession, and they've won a free kick out on the far touchline, 15 yards inside their own half, for a foul on Fezel by Chotard. 5 yards in from the far touchline, 15 yards inside their own half. Henry was going to make a substitution before that equaliser. He hasn't got round to making it, so perhaps he's changed his mind now that we're back to all square. You presume he was going to throw another forward on, and now he figures he doesn't need them. Ball played forward by Egypt, and they've won a free kick. Bade is penalised for coming through the back of one of the French players, And Badet's booked for that. Well, I suppose it's because he was leading with his arm. But I don't think there was anything malicious in that. I think he had his eyes on the ball. I think that's really harsh. A double substitution coming for Egypt. Atef is coming on. As is Mazar. One of those to leave the field is El Deebs. And the other is Faisal, by the look of it. His number is up. He doesn't look very happy about that. But yes, it's Faisal. And El Deebs off. Mazar and Atef on. Ahmed Atef plays for Future FC in his homeland. And Bilal Mazar is the son of former Egyptian international Abdul Rahman Mazar. He plays for Panathinaikos' B-side in Greece. So a free kick to Egypt, midway inside the French half, central position. El Neni is around the ball, and he actually took a pot shot which hit the back of Elise. Ball drifted in now from the left-hand side. Well caught by Restes, who hasn't had much to do in this second half. Restes then gets up and runs into Hossam. Just thought for a moment, had a free header from a corner which struck the base of the far post. But we're also to this point. Certainly hasn't had the edge of the quarter-final with Argentina. Not quite such a rivalry, you would feel. Restes kicks the ball forward from outside his box, headed over this near touchline by Egypt for a throw to France. Truffert is forward to take it, throws it to the feet of Elise, back to Truffert. Truffert finds Lakiba, and Lakiba to Shotar to the left of the centre circle. Badet now finds a Quiche, who tries to drift the ball across from the right hand side. It was deflected, and Egypt can have a chance to clear. That's a good ball from the substitute, Atef. And here is the other substitute, Mazar. Oh, he's got too much on that. Didn't give Zizou much of a chance. Restes was out at his feet. Zizou had to jump him in order not to foul him. And the merest glimpse of an opening was gone. Here's a Quiche finding Truffert, now Doué. Doué to the left of the penalty area. He's got right to the byline, pulled the ball across, headed away by Egypt. Chested down, shot from distance from Shotar. Hits the substitute Mazar. Floated into the box again. The big man, Fayed, was in the way. Fed it down the right hand side. Zizou is outpaced by Lakiba. And we've reached the 90-minute mark. We've got 6 minutes of added on time to find a winner, or we're going to extra time here in Lyon. Here are France, short of the halfway line. Badet into the centre circle, running from right to left. Finds Lakiba. He just turns it square again to Badet. Badet finds Sedilia, who's just over the halfway line. Badet once more swings a ball from right to left, right onto the foot of Doué. Can Doué take on his man? He's found Truffert. Truffert across the box, headed away again by Fayed. It's down by the byline. Has it gone out for a corner? The referee says yes, it has. But Fayed was again the man in the way. He really is a giant of a man. And many of the French attacks have foundered on him in this match. 3 minutes of stoppage time left at the end of the game for either side to find a winner. Otherwise we're going to another 30 minutes. In comes the corner, headed away again to the edge of the area. Theirry puts it up in the air, headed on by Bade, fisted away by the keeper, and the whistle's gone for a foul anyway on Fayed, and Egypt will have a chance to clear. Well, Henry and McKaylee will be thinking about what they're going to say to their players now, because they'll be assuming that this game's going to go to extra time. Henry was appealing for a penalty there for handball, but the referee decided that Fayed was pushed, and that's why his hands went up. The referee does appear to be talking to VAR though, and Shotar is saying, look, there was a handball. I think VAR are going to be looking at this. The fourth official is listening in on the touchline as well. El Neni is getting involved, the Egyptian captain. Well, I don't think you can give handball for that. It's been headed against the back of his hand after he's been pushed. To me, that's a nonsense. If they give a penalty for this, it's a nonsense. It really is a nonsense if they give a penalty for this. But VAR do appear to be looking in earnest at it, and we all wait. El Neni is remonstrating with referee Martinez and saying, how can you even look at that? Lacazette stands more impassive. Let's have another look. Well, he was pushed, and then the ball comes off the back of his hand. For me, that's never a penalty in a million years. Really isn't. But I've been wrong before. Some people who've heard me commentate would say I've been wrong more often than I've been right, but I just don't see that that's a penalty. I really don't. I think there's a clear push, and then it comes off the back of the defender's hand. I really do. But of course, if the referee's sent to the monitor, we know that this will be a penalty. They're still looking at this. I don't know how many... and the referee's going to the monitor. Well, he's going to give a penalty. Almost certainly he's going to give a penalty. And if so, this semi-final will end acrimoniously. Fayed's been booked for his protests. I think Egypt feel that the crowd and the home team factor is playing the role here. And you have to say they might be right. Let's have a look at this again. We're going to get another look, I'm sure. This is about the VAR hub now. Well, he's been pushed in the back by Bade, who then heads the ball onto the back of his hand. There's no way in the world for me that that's a penalty. If you disagree with me, you can tweet me at Ellis_Red on Twitter. But he's been pushed in the first place, and the ball's been headed onto the back of his hand. But clearly, if they've sent the referee to the monitor, they're going to give a penalty. And this would be a horrible way for this game to be decided. It really would. Egypt don't deserve to lose like this. They really don't. France have been the better team, but they can't win like this, surely. His hands are up, but he's been pushed. Well, we've had about 25 looks at this now. And for me, if you have to look at it 25 times, it's not a penalty. Even if I thought it was a penalty, if you look at it 25 times to decide if it's a penalty or not, then for me it isn't. But my money says they'll give a penalty because he's gone to the monitor and he'll feel obliged to give one. There's a long conversation going on between referee Martinez and the VAR official. A huge conversation going on. To me, this just isn't a penalty. People will say his hands are in an unnatural position, but he's just been pushed in the back. So, That's why his hands are where they are. This is, well, I think this is ridiculous personally, but this will smack of a hometown decision, it really will. Well, here comes referee Martinez. What's he going to do? Well, he's made the signal that he's looked at the VAR. He's looked at the video. He's now explaining to all the players the decision that he's going to make before he gives the decision. And he said it's not a penalty. Well done, Mr. Martinez, because he didn't give a penalty on the field. He got told by VAR to go and have a look at the monitor. And he's obviously looked at it and said to VAR, there's a push, I don't think that's a penalty, I'm not going to give one. 10 out of 10 to the Honduran official. That was never a penalty in a million years, in my opinion. And he stuck to his guns and not given one under the pressure of a home team and a home crowd. Well done, Mr. Martinez. And so we go on. We had about 3 minutes of stoppage time left when that decision arose. So even though we've played 9 minutes of stoppage time, I think we've probably got at least 2, if not 3, still to play. Ball hooked forward, headed down by Fayed. Here's El Neni, sweeping it out to the left. Oh, that's a lovely turn. A lovely turn by Adel. Sildilia gets back goal side. Adel says he was pulled back. Referee doesn't agree. And France try and come forward again with Lacazette. He can't keep the ball in. And it's out for a throw on halfway to Egypt. The French flags are flying. Maybe they're making their feelings known to the referee. But in my opinion, he got that one absolutely right. Ball thrown in, chested down by Egypt, hooked away by France to the halfway line. Can anybody make one more chance? Lacazette tries to hold the ball up. It's gone out for a throw to Egypt. We've now played nearly 11 minutes of added on time. Because of that VAR controversy, there'll be much which will be much talked about, whatever the result of this game. Throw on halfway to Egypt on the far side. Thrown in short. And back to the thrower. Swept to this near side. And Shahata, who crosses halfway, runs forward. Plays it to his right, and Zizou just in from this near touchline. Zizou further down the line to the substitute Atef. Atef, faced by 2. Plays it back to Shahata. Shahata swings in the cross, only half cleared. Sabah shoots from the edge and shoots over the bar. Wouldn't really sit down for him, and he was falling backwards. Ball always rising. He scored the first goal of this game, but that wasn't the winner. Goal kick. Restes kicks left-footed, and the referee blows the whistle. So we will play 30 minutes of extra time. Well. Egypt led just after the hour through Mehdi Sabah's shot into the roof of the net. But Jean-Philippe Mateta swept France level with 7 minutes to go. That after they'd hit the woodwork 3 times in the game, twice through Loic Bade with headers. And then we had the controversy over the penalty that wasn't in the end in stoppage time, when France wanted a penalty for handball by Omar Fayed, and the referee was sent to the monitor. We all thought he was going to give a penalty, and he stuck to his on-field decision and told VAR he wasn't going to give one because he said it was a push on the defender. And I make him 100% right. And to give that decision when you're faced with a home crowd baying for a penalty and French players surrounding you saying one should be given, that's great officiating in my view. And it means we've got an extra 30 minutes. So at 90 minutes plus stoppage time, it's France 1, Egypt 1, and now the huddles begin. The conversations begin about how do we feel, who can keep going, who might need to come off, who do I need to leave on the field because they might take a penalty later on. All those factors come into it. Henry's got his players in a huddle. Who knows, some of them might still be talking about the penalty that wasn't, and he's got to say to them, look, referee didn't give it. Doesn't matter what we think, referee didn't give it. We've got to get on with it, and we've got to find a way to win this game. He'll be saying, look, we hit the woodwork 3 times. We've had the better chances. They scored a goal in the second half out of nothing. We should go on and win this game. If you're Rogerio Michele, you're going to say to your side, look, we were right under the cosh. We managed to get a goal out of nothing. What's to say we can't do that again? And in his view, from the penalty that wasn't, he'll say, look, a few minutes ago you feared you were going out. That penalty wasn't given. Maybe that's a sign. Maybe that's a sign that the gods are with us and that we can win this game. I think there's a lot of psychology that goes on in huddles in these situations. Henry was absolutely apoplectic about that penalty not being given, but it's gone. You have to get on with it and deal with it. He's in conversation with Michael Olise, who's taking a swig of something red, some sort of juice. Get a bit of sugar in, a bit of liquid, counteract the lactic acid, which is almost certainly building up on a hot night like this. Alexandre Lacazette, 33. He's seen more football than most. Mohamed El Neni is only a year younger, I think, at 32. So he's seen plenty of football as well. They're tossing a coin in the middle again. Lacazette is still arguing the toss about something. I seem to remember from his days at Arsenal, he wasn't a man who let an argument go easily. But you just have to, really. Gael Clichy, part of the backroom staff for Theirry Henry, he'll have had words with players as well in that huddle. And so we begin to regather, to reform for the 30 extra minutes. Some of the magic spray going on some tired limbs. Egypt have spent most of this game without the ball, and you would feel in the extra 30 minutes that will surely tell. But the Pharaohs are playing for the pride of Africa. Morocco were downed in the other semi-final by Spain. Morocco, having led, were beaten 2-1 by a goal 5 minutes from time. Can Egypt do better? They've already got it to extra time, and we're underway again. In the first period of the extra 30 minutes, Egypt kicking from right to left, have the ball on the far side. Shahata goes down, wins a free kick. He was bundled into the back of by Doué. A free kick, a few yards short of the halfway line, midway between the far touchline and the centre circle. Swung left to Coker. Coker stands on the ball, opts to go backwards to Hossam, and he uses his goalkeeper. Fayed will now fire it down the right hand side. Breaks to Lakiba for France. Chotard just over the halfway line with Doué. Doué escapes one, runs against Fayed. Oh, he was going to get beyond him and fired, chopped him down. That'll be a yellow card for the big man. Oh, it's his second yellow, he's off. Omar Fayed is off. He'd been booked earlier in the game. And the big man has gone. Within a minute and a half of the start of of extra time, Egypt are reduced to 10. He walks off, eyes closed. I think he knew what was coming. He's pulled his shirt over his head with a sense of guilt and shame. He just chopped his man down. He was nowhere near the ball. Left referee Martinez no option at all. And having been booked earlier, he had to go. He disappears disconsolately down the tunnel. And now, Egypt, having been on the defensive, are down to 10. And let me remind you, they were within 7 minutes of normal time of winning this semi-final. Now they're surely looking down the barrel. Here's the free kick. About 7 yards from the byline, midway between the penalty area and the far touchline, the French left. And Egypt are throwing another defender into the fray. Ibrahim Adel is going to be withdrawn. Their leading scorer in the tournament is having to give way so that they can get Mohamed Tarek onto the pitch into a defensive position. In comes the free kick, fisted away by Allah, behind for a corner. So Tarek is on. And Adel is off. Well, that's Faisal and Adel off now. So they haven't got much attacking threat left on the field. That corner comes to nothing and is out for a goal kick. But Egypt surely have a huge mountain to climb now. They've lost their man mountain to a second yellow. And they've got almost the entire half an hour of extra time to survive to get to penalties. And even if they get there, two of their penalty takers are now not on the field. What can they do to get out of this? Well, they've won a throw on this near side. Rogerio Michele is looking at his watch, pushing his palms down towards the ground, as if to say, stay calm. You can survive this. Well, let's see if they can. Here's Zizou. Puts it out to the far side, the right, and Mazar takes it in, feeds it back inside. Zizou gets another touch. He was getting a lot of magic spray before the extra time started. He looked out on his feet. Now he's going to have to probably plough a lone furrow up front. That's not ideal either. France come out of defence with Sildilia over the halfway line. Fed to this right-hand side. Elise skips past his man. He's in the penalty area on the right. Steps inside. Goes for the shot. Hits the back of Mahmoud Saber. Goes behind for a corner. Elise is going to be torturous to these tired Egyptian defenders in extra time. And he's going to have more space as well now that the Egyptians are down to 10. Can they keep the drawbridge up? Or will France storm the Bastille? Corner comes in. Don't get a clean header on it, and Egypt hook it away. Back into French territory, where only goalkeeper Restes now resides. He has the ball in the centre circle and hits it long out to the left-hand side. Doué takes it nicely. Will he run for the byline? He steps inside. Goes shoulder to shoulder. The referee says that's a foul. He says it wasn't shoulder to shoulder, it was shoulder to back, and he was right too. He's not got a lot wrong, referee Martinez. An excellent game. I said at the top of the show that he was the youngest man ever to referee in the top tier of Honduran football when he was just 18. And now you can see why. Fayed's found a vantage point from which he's watching on helplessly, hoping that his teammates can get to the final, from which of course he would now be banned. But he's still willing them to get there. Here's Lakiba for France. To Acouche. Finds Elise on this near touchline. Elise runs inside, looks to feed Acouche, but doesn't get it past the last defender. Egypt are putting a wall up. They want it to be as impenetrable as the pyramids. Well, they're going to bring on Zayed Kamal of Zamalek. He's going to replace Mahmoud Saber. For this last 25 minutes or so. Saber, who for a long time thought his goal had won this tie and sent his team to the gold medal match, he can't play any further part, having been withdrawn. Hooked up the line by Coca, but only into French possession. Bade back to Restes, who's right on the edge of his own penalty area. Finds Bade once more. Bade to Lakiba. Here's Treffer on the halfway line, just in from the far touchline, the French left. They work it back to the right and Bade. Here's Sildilia on the right-hand touchline. Forward to Elise. To Sildilia again, and Elise once more. He's got Acouche outside him. Flicked to the edge of the penalty area. Lacazette tries to pull it back. He's gone out for a corner off Hassam. Did well to win that corner, Lacazette. He was up against two defenders. The corner was played short. Elise now sweeps it across the box. Dangerous. Headed back. Mateta! Jean-Philippe Mateta has broken Egyptian hearts and headed France in front against the 10 men. And surely now the Crystal Palace man has sent Le Bleu to the final. Not only are Egypt a man short, they're a goal behind. Elise's cross always looked dangerous. It was headed back towards that post by Sildilia, and Mateta closed in and buried the header past the left hand of Hamza Allah. Theirry Henry, both hands aloft. Mateta has broken the deadlock, goes to salute his manager. That's 4 goals in the tournament now for Mateta, and they've all come in the last 3 games. Crystal Palace can't wait to get him back to Selhurst Park. I reckon he'll be in goal-scoring form at the start of the season. Any defenders playing against them, beware. Can Egypt respond? Well, here's... Oh, that was a chance. That was a chance. That was Ahmed Coca in plenty of space on the left-hand side of the box. But he was overstretching for the shot and blazed it wide. Henry wants to know why there was a gaping hole on the left side of his defence. And he's got every right to ask. 100 minutes have been played. The first 10 of extra time have gone by. And Jean-Philippe Mateta has put France in front. Here's Treffer. Back to Chotard. Sildilia advancing down the right-hand side. They've got no forwards left on the field, really, Egypt, to cause any problem. Akish into the penalty area. Lacazette forced out of the penalty area again. Finds Zadilia to the right hand side, almost on this right hand touchline. Flicks it back to Akish. Akish to centre field. And Lukiba. Trafel. That's a good ball. Out to the left. Doué comes in, looking to come in on his right foot. And tee off, but he couldn't get the shot off. Shahata will run it clear. Oh, he's given it away. Tired. Here's Elise. Look, Lacazette. Oh, I thought he was going to sew it up then. Went to shoot across the goalkeeper. It's a brilliant block by Hossam, which has just about kept Egypt in this game. Lacazette looks certain to score. Went to fire across Alawa. And Hossam came out of nowhere and slid across and blocked it. France know another goal now settles it. Here's Elise with the corner. Headed away. Back to Elise, the corner taker. Faced by one. He drifts another ball across the box. Dangerous, claimed by Allah. Did well. Kicks it early out of hands. Looking for Zizou. But he was outnumbered 4-1. Well, now that they're behind, they might as well throw another man forward, because although they're down to 10 men, you can't get back into a game of football like this playing with 9 men behind the ball. You just can't. Can they do anything? Here is Hossam to Tarek, the substitute, on the far side, the right. He lays it into the centre of the field, where Egypt have won a free kick. One of the French players has gone down. Now it's the French turn to take time off the clock. I'm not quite sure why Shotar's gone down like he's been shot there. He was the man that committed the foul. Here's Zizou, central position, 40 yards out. Finds Coker. Coker gets it forward. Atef plays a good ball out to the right hand side. Shahata attempts to cross. Cannons off Doué and out for a throw. Well, Egypt haven't created too many serious chances in this game. Well, Alexandre Lacazette's race is run. I think Theirry Henry's decided that his captain can't get to the end of the game and that he shouldn't need him for penalties now. Lacazette's given the captain's armband to Mateta and taken his leave of the field. Gets a rousing reception from the French faithful, and he gives way to Arnaud Kalimuendo. Forward from Rennes. Well, he moved from Rennes to PSG this summer after a successful loan spell. He played 60 games. Now, in the summer of 22, he went from PSG to Rennes. He's played 60 games, scored 17 goals. A man of Congolese descent. They don't even need him to score a goal now. France just need to keep the door shut. Egypt scored the first goal against France in this tournament earlier in the match, but they'll need to score again to take this to penalties. Zizou's been booked for remonstrating with the referee over the award of that free kick, and he's still in the referee's face. He needs to get out of his face, otherwise that yellow is going to be red. El Neni needs to pull him away. He's now using abusive language to the referee, because I can lip read that. I'm not going to repeat what he said, but it was choice, as we might say. Choice, but not very wholesome. He's going to talk himself into a red card if he's not careful. Here's Elise playing a little 1-2. Oh, The Egyptian player dived in there. He seemed to get away with it. Well, he didn't get away with it because he's been booked. Zayed's now in the book. Egypt threatening to boil over. Hossam has now pushed over Mateta, who's made a meal of it. Zayed's been booked. Will that be the end of the matter? Will VAR have a look at this, I wonder? I think Mateta's made an awful lot of that. But Egypt are boiling over. They really are. And they're going to end up in trouble. That was a wild challenge by Zayed on Elise. It was wild. El Neni is remonstrating with the referee as the captain. And the referee is obviously saying to him, you need to calm your players down. Zizou is still in the referee's face. Somebody needs to pull the boy away. The referee is showing remarkable restraint here, because many another referee would have had a red card out now for Zizou. I wouldn't mind betting that there'll be a red card out for him before the end of this game, because he has lost his head. France 2, Egypt 1. 3 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this half of extra being played. Free kick played into the penalty area, headed away by Hossam. And Traffer goes back to Restes, who, other than picking the ball out of his net for the goal, hasn't had a lot to do since half-time. His ball is too far forward for Elise. It's out for a throw. Well, Rogerio Micheli needs to get hold of his players in any break between the two halves of extra time, because they have lost it. Well, that ball was played forward towards Zizou. He didn't get there. Bade hooked the ball away. Headed forward again. Well, here's Zizou again. He's got towards the edge of the box. He's gone over a trailing leg. And that's going to result in a booking for Lakiba. Well, I think Zizou was looking for that. But Lakiba obliged him by sticking a foot out and allowing Zizou to go over it. And this is a dangerous position. This is probably 4 yards outside the box. Just to the right of the left edge of the D. Maybe it's a few more yards outside the box than that, maybe 6. So just less than 25 yards out, I would say. 2 men round the ball. Restes lining up his wall. We've got Coca round the ball. We've also got Zizou. I think it's going to be left for Zizou to hit right-footed. Up he comes and shoots. It's just wide. It's a good effort. The boy can play when he's got his head on. And he curled it just wide of the post. I'm not sure Restes knew that was going wide, but it's the last act of a dramatic first period of extra time, which has seen Omar Fayed dismissed for a second yellow for a foul on Doué, and Jean-Philippe Mateta head home his second of the game to put France ahead. Zizou was lucky not to follow Fayed to the dressing room for persistent dissent. But as it is, it's 11 against 10, and the 11 of France lead the 10 of Egypt by 2-1 with 15 minutes of extra time to play. What can Rogerio Micheli say to his side now? They're a goal down and a man down, and they have to find a goal to take this game to extra time. And they haven't looked much like scoring one. They didn't look much like scoring one in the second half when they took the lead through Mahmoud Saber's shot into the roof of the net. That after his first effort had been blocked. Loic Bade had hit the post in the first half for France, and they hit the post twice in quick succession in the second half. Lacazette seeing one header come back off the post. And Bade followed up with a header off the crossbar. The second time he'd hit the woodwork in the game. And at that stage, you thought France were never going to score. But it was a delicious through ball from Michael Olise with 7 minutes to go that released Mateta to level the scores. And then we had the penalty drama of added on time when France wanted a penalty for handball by Omar Fayed, and the referee, after being sent to the monitor, stuck with his on-field decision. So Fayed was reprieved of that, but he wasn't reprieved a minute into extra time when he scythed down Douay and was sent off. So France lead 2-1 as we start the second period of extra time. All they've got to do really is keep the ball. Lakiba passes it back to Restes. Restes knocks it to his right to Bade. Akish gets a touch. Back to Restes. I think he's going to play much deeper in this second period of extra time. Partly because he's very tired, I think. That ball came off Treffer and out for a throw. Rogerio Micheli still barking instructions at his Egyptian side. Are the Egyptians going to go the way of Morocco? Is the North African challenge in the football at the Olympics about to be extinguished? Are we going to get the final that perhaps we always thought we would get between France and Spain? Well, the next 13 or so minutes will tell us. Here come France again. Here's Olise, edge of the area, finds Douay to the left of the box, steps inside, tries to curl a shot into the corner, blocked by Hassam. Zizou tried to pull the ball down, get it under control. Well, he's won a throw, I think. I thought it was a French throw, but Zizou got it off a French player. Here's El Neni to Atef. Atef lays it back to Shahata. And Egypt try and build again from deep. They have the ball on the left-hand side. It's come to El Neni once more. He's still deep in his own half though, or midway inside his own half. And they need to get the ball forward now. Here's Shahata. Shahata's ball's gone astray though. Treffer on halfway for France. Just in from this near touchline, the French left. He uses Bade, who's had a sterling game for the French. Remember that lad's name. He'll play a very, very decent level, I suspect. Wouldn't mind betting he'll be a full international at some stage. Restes, long ball forward. Finds Douay galloping after it. He's going to pull it in before the byline as well. Can he do some damage? He puts it into the middle of the box. Mateta couldn't quite latch onto it. Douay tried to reach it. It's broken for Olise, who's whacked it into the net and settled this semi-final. Egypt couldn't get it clear. And when it came across the box, Olise was unmarked and fired home into the corner past a helpless Allah. It actually came off the back of Douay and dropped for Olise, who didn't think about it, just hit it instinctively left-footed and arrowed it into the far corner. Beautiful finish from Olise. And I'm afraid the Pharaohs are sunk. France, the hosts, are heading for the Olympic final in hope of repeating their gold medal of 40 years ago in the United States. France 3, Egypt 1. There are shaking heads everywhere from the Egyptians. They know that the game is up. From the moment they went down to 10 men, you fancied their chances had gone. And I remind you, they were within 7 minutes of normal time of winning this semi-final 1-0. But finally, France have battered down the door. And Egypt will be on their way home. Tempers are frayed again as Elise trips his man. Coker gets up and remonstrates. Referee Martinez has walked away. He doesn't care about that. He's given a free kick and just wants them to play on. Well, Shahata is giving way, as is Zizou, which is probably wise. They're going to pull him off before he gets sent off. And they're going to give a couple of players some experience. Mohamed Hamdi is coming on. And so is Mustafa Said. Said wearing 11. And Hamdi wearing 19. So they're on for the last rites of this game, the last 9 minutes. But Egypt's chances have surely gone. They have the ball deep in defence. But they look a beaten team now. The body language says that they can't retrieve this. And I think they're right. Here's Tarek, who came on as a substitute after Fayed was sent off. Finds El Neni towards this near touchline. Well, what do you do if you're Egypt? Do you keep trying to plough forward? Or do you just avoid humiliation now and save some energy for the bronze medal match? Here's Doué striding forward. Egypt have got defenders back and they've won the ball back. Of course, this isn't the end of the road for Egypt. I said a few minutes ago mistakenly they'll be heading home. Well, of course they won't. They'll be heading to the bronze medal match and the North African battle with Morocco, which will surely motivate them. Third and fourth place matches are usually awful, but with a bronze medal at stake and the pride of North Africa at stake, that might be a really good one. You can hear that on Thursday afternoon here on Flash Score. In the meantime, Akish gets out of a tight corner and France hold on to the ball. Chotard, who's been a tower in the centre of midfield for France, he's worked tirelessly. Here's Restes. They're heading for the gold medal match, of course. They could have done without 30 more minutes of lactic acid in their legs before playing the Spaniards. You can hear that game too on Flash Score on Friday. You can join my colleague Joshua Adudonka for that one. I'll be covering the bronze medal match with you, so I'll see the Egyptians again. Here is Bade on halfway as the minutes tick down in what's now surely a done deal. France have slowed the game to walking pace, and why wouldn't they? They want to conserve every ounce of energy possible. I think if I was Theirry Henry, I'd have Mateta and Elise off this pitch rather than wasting their time in an extra 7 or 8 minutes, but I'm not Theirry Henry. Here's Doué running his man again and running him ragged. Atef just about gets a foot in. Well, he's fouled him first though, pulled him back by the shirt, or the shorts actually to be more accurate. Doué has electric pace, there's no doubt about that. He doesn't always know what to do with the ball when he's got it, but he does have electric speed. The free kick's played short to Douay, who's again faced by two defenders. Well, he's gone down again and won another free kick. And this is ideal for France. They can just take the time off the clock. In fairness, Egypt probably don't want to overexert themselves either now. They want to save a bit for that bronze medal game. Here's Douay once more, threatening to get to the byline. Instead, he's played it back to Shotar. Shotar runs for the corner flag. He doesn't really need to. He's won a free kick because he's been bundled over by the substitute, Hamdi. So a free kick right down by the corner flag for France. This is really almost 5 meaningless minutes, you feel, at the end of this semi-final, which has had its drama. Shotar's still trying to hold the ball in the corner. This is going to be a fairly desperately dull 5 minutes at this rate. Atef is saying that the French player should get up. Theirry Henry's wagging his finger at somebody, not sure who. Surely he's got plenty to smile about. Here's a quiche on halfway, trying to trick his way past Shahata, past Coca rather. He's played the ball forward. And here is a quiche once more. He's heading for the corner flag as well. I'm surprised Theirry Henry's not taken him off as well, because he's out on his feet. You can tell. He's absolutely out on his feet. Here's a quiche. Well, there are going to be some substitutions. One of which, Rayan Cherki, was going to come on about an hour ago, or half an hour ago at least, before France equalised. He's finally going to be released into the game with 4 minutes to go, or the next time the ball goes out. Kelly Muendo gets a rare touch in the game. Sildilia back to the halfway line, and Bade. Here's a quiche once more, and now Lukiba. Lukiba to his right, and Bade out to the far touchline, the French right. Here's Elise once more. He's played the ball inside. Oh, quiche was running through, didn't have the energy for the shot, I don't think. I think he was so weary from 6 or 7 yards of running that he knocked the ball 6 or 7 yards wide. Well, Mateta is finally being given a breather with 3 minutes to go. So he's going to have to pass the captain's armband to yet another person, having inherited it from Lacazette. So he's passing it on as well. So I think it's gone to Lukiba. He gets a really good hand from the French crowd, and why not? Because his 2 goals turn this game around. Cherki comes on, and he'll be joined by Magassa, the 20-year-old with Monaco. Cherki, 116 games for Lyon since 2019. Magassa is on too. But we have just 2 minutes plus stoppage time left in the match. And everybody knows that the game is up. It was a very good game for a long time. Egypt, without threatening an awful lot, managed to stay in it and then pinch the lead and got within 7 minutes of winning this tie. But thereafter they've been swept away. Here's Elise again, and he's shot wide. I thought that was certain to be 4. He did the hard bit, skipped beyond the last defender, got into the right of the area, fired his shot towards the far post, but it was 2 or 3 inches wide. It was his pass that found Mateta to set up the equaliser. And he's since scored himself, of course. His second goal of the tournament. Here come Egypt, searching for what surely will be a consolation. They have the ball on the right of the area. They've drifted it into the box. It's headed on. It's easy for Restes. A weak header from Mazar. Good play by the substitute Said to drift the ball in there. But Mazar didn't get enough on it. Sildilia charging towards the halfway line. That's too much energy to be using at this stage of the match, son. And he might wish he hadn't done it now. He seems to be on his haunches. It's taken his breath away, I think. It's met with Restes, who clears left-footed over the halfway line. Headed on by Doué. Kalimuendo tried to get on the end of it. Hooked away by Tariq. Hits Kalimuendo. Goes out for a throw down by the corner flag. We're playing 2 minutes of time added on. 3 minutes of time added on to this second period of extra time. But I think you could play 25 minutes and Egypt wouldn't get back in this now. The sending off of Fayed was crucial. They were level at 1-1 just into extra time when he was dismissed for a second yellow. And they conceded almost immediately to Jean-Philippe Mateta. Elise's added a third. But even before that, I think the game was up. Here's Saad playing a short pass to Mazar. He tried to play a little 1-2. France have cleared it and can run the ball towards the halfway line with Cherki. He's found Elise on the far touchline. Elise didn't get any time off. Perhaps he doesn't want it. Elise goes again to the right of the penalty area. He's inside the area now, inside onto his left foot. Played it in field. Cherki tried to turn on it. He was eventually crowded out by the Egyptians, and they did that quite neatly. Coker to Zayed Kamal. It's come to this left-hand side and Tarek. Here's Atef up towards the halfway line. But Egypt now are just keeping the ball, waiting for the whistle, I think. El Neni forward to Said. That's a good searching pass. But once again, Loic Bade has done the hard yards, got there ahead of his man and cleared the ball. Well, Mateta scored 2 goals at one end, and Elise has been electric in the last hour of this game. But Loic Bade has been very influential at both ends of the pitch. And he, for me, stands out in this match amongst those that I didn't know so well. Truffert. Oh, the little pass through from Cherki very nearly found Doué. Not quite. Egypt come for one last time, trying to muscle their way forward. They've won a free kick. The 3 minutes are almost up. Don't let tempers boil over now. Not with a bronze medal match still to play. Here's Said trying to march his way into the penalty area. France have cleared again, though. I think the whistle is imminent. France have won a free kick as Magassa is brought to ground, and the referee has blown. Theirry Henry is taking Le Bleu to the final of the Olympic Games. Egypt gave everything and got within 7 minutes of winning this match, only for France to find a way and to emerge winners. We were goalless at half-time after a first half in which Bade hit the post, and we were still goalless just after the hour when Mahmoud Saber latched onto a ball in the French penalty area. His first shot was blocked, but he followed up to fire over the head of Restes and put Egypt into a shock lead. Lacazette and Bade both hit the woodwork after that within a matter of seconds. But 7 minutes from time, France were going out. But that was until Michael Olise found a decisive through ball for Jean-Philippe Mateta to run onto and level the scores. In injury time of normal time, we had a strong appeals for a penalty by France, for a handball by Omar Fayed, but the referee was sent to the monitor and had the courage to stick to his original decision, deciding that Fayed had been pushed before the ball had been headed into the back of his hand. And so we went to extra time. But if Fayed survived that, within a minute and a half of the start of extra time, he was dismissed for a second yellow after scything down Doué as he stormed